Hi, everyone. Welcome back to DodgerHeads, presented by DodgerBlue.com. My name is Matthew Moreno, and joining me today again is Blake Williams. And we're here to talk about the 2024 Baseball Hall of Fame ballot that was just released. And overall, it includes 26 players who are up for the 2024 class. But for us, the fun is in getting to look at the former Dodgers that are kind of up for enshrinement. And yes, you're going to have to indulge us a little bit and we're going to loosely apply the former Dodgers tag to this video. But nonetheless, in case you haven't heard, that group consists of Bobby Abreu, Adrian Beltre, Adrian Gonzalez, Andrew Jones, Gary Sheffield, Manny Ramirez, Jimmy Rollins, and Chase Utley. It's the first time Beltre, Gonzalez, and Utley have appeared on the Hall of Fame ballot, while for Sheffield, it's his 10th and final time up for election. If he's not going to be voted in as part of the 2024 class, then he'll possibly need to rely on being part of maybe an eras ballot kind of down the line, and then things get a little bit different. But with respect to BBWAA voting, to get voted into the Hall of Fame, a player has to receive 75% of the vote. And in terms of remaining on the ballot for future consideration, you need to get at least 5% every year, and you can remain on the ballot for up to 10 years, which, like I said, Sheffield has now sort of reached the maximum potential for that. Blake, let's kind of start with the obvious. I think there's no question that Adrian Beltre is going to be voted into the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah, I think he's pretty much a lock. Not sure if he'll be a unanimous vote because it's pretty rare when you get there. You see, like, very, very few players have been unanimously elected. So I just don't think Adrian Beltre is going to get to that point, but he should get in this year. And looking back on it, it makes the Dodgers moving on from him a little more sad. I mean, I think we're going to see that again in the coming years with Corey Seager probably repeating that scenario here, but yeah, we're focused on Adrian Beltre here, and it's disappointing the Dodgers let him go because he should have been in LA for his whole career.
Yeah, the Beltre situation I think is definitely a sore point for a lot of fans, and the Hall of Fame. Seeing this happen, I think brings back a lot of some of those memories of what was with Beltre, and then kind of contract negotiations falling apart, if that's how it can be sort of described. Was there from Beltre's career, whether it's with the Dodgers or anything, is there anything that sort of sticks out to you that you have a favorite memory or a favorite highlight?
For me, it's just always his teammates with the Rangers touching his head, and he didn't really like that, and they made the bobblehead for that one, of course, and I ended up getting that one just because it was such a funny moment all the time. So I think it just kind of showed like his character a bit. He was a good teammate, and people tended to like him a lot. And then, of course, his skill on the field was pretty much unmatched at the time for a while. So, yeah, I think it was just overall his personality and his quirks, I guess, there.
Yeah, that was going to be my question when you brought up the bobblehead, was if you have it. And our viewers, our followers know that all of us have, I think, a individually pretty good collection of bobbleheads. I will say Blake's is definitely the most unique, or I'm kind of spacing on the right word. He's got the most variety, maybe is the best way for me to put it. And I think that Beltre one kind of sums it up. So that's so yeah. I mean, I think maybe he's not unanimous, but certainly something like 80%, 85, 90%, right? Probably going to end up appearing on those ballots and end up getting voted into the 2024 class. And it'll be interesting to see if anybody joins him. Last year, it was only Scott Rowland. Uh, Blake, if there's one kind of actually no, let's hold off on this question real quick. Let me ask you another question. Do you see any of, and again, we're using this term loosely, former Dodgers, and to refresh your memory, that's Bobby Abreu, Adrian Beltre, Adrian Gonzalez, Andrew Jones, Gary Sheffield, Manny Ramirez, Jimmy Rollins, and Chase Utley. Anybody else? We already discussed Beltre. Anybody else from that group do you see getting in as part of the 2024 class?
Well, my first question is, can we really count Andrew Jones as a former Dodger? That was not a good time for fans or him. So let's
He
drop
has
that name.
okay, fair
But
enough.
but I do think he'll eventually get in. Gary Sheffield might have a chance. I forget what he was at last year, but he could get in this year or with the Veterans Committee, I think. Manny Ramirez might get in depending on how voters keep continuing to view steroid usage and all that, because it's kind of trending in the way that voters are starting to be more open to players that use steroids just because it was very pronounced for a while. So I think Manny could eventually get in, and that's probably who I would say from the former Dodgers who will eventually get in. But maybe Chase Utley too. He probably has a good case.
Okay. So you think Utley with the 2024 class already?
He'll probably have to wait a little.
Okay. 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 I don't have the exact number on me, but if I remember correctly, Sheffield was had like 55-ish% of the vote, I think, right around there this last time. So he needs another 20% or so to be part of the 2024 class. So now let's get to the question that I threw up a little bit earlier. Let's have a little bit of fun here. Uh, of the players I just mentioned, again, former Dodgers, we're using that term very loosely and liberally in this case. Who would you like to see not only elected into the Hall of Fame, whether it's this year, next year, 2 years from now, but also wearing a Dodgers hat? And again, I'm presenting you this question knowing that if any of these players make it in, the odds of them of wearing a LA cap aren't very high. Maybe Adrian Gonzalez, but even I think he's probably the best case scenario. Even him is iffy because of what he did with the Padres. But if you could pick one player in an LA hat, even if it does seem improbable, who are you going with?
For me, it's probably Manny Ramirez. I mean, the 2008, 9, 10 teams were kind of the ones that really got me interested in baseball. And of course, Manny was the best player on that team, at least the best offensive player. And he was just fun on the field and brought a lot of energy and excitement. And he kind of made me fall in love with baseball. So for me, it's definitely Manny. I mean, if he gets in, he's going to be wearing a Red Sox hat. But like you mentioned, for this exercise, I think it would be amazing to see him in a Dodger hat. But yeah.
Yeah, that's a good choice. I think that's probably going to be the popular choice in the comments when we post this video and go back and look at what people are saying. I think for me, I'm kind of torn between Adrian Gonzalez and Chase Utley. The Adrian Gonzalez selection is some of like I think, like I mentioned, it's kind of the most likely. If any of these players is going to wear an LA cap, it would be him, just because of he had somewhat of an extended career here with the Dodgers, and it was a successful period. It kind of the back end of it sort of overlapped with the run of division titles that they ended up going on. But if not Gonzalez, I'm going to say Chase Utley, and I know before he was traded to the Dodgers, he was kind of a taboo guy because of the Philly success, and I certainly get all that. But he was somebody who, once he was traded to LA, I enjoyed watching kind of on a daily basis and seeing the grit that we know Scott loves and is all about. I think Utley very much had that, and just the way he went about playing the game was fun for me.
Yeah, I mean, Utley's a good pick, I think, but just too many memories of him hurting the Dodgers with the Phillies, like 2009 years era. That was tough to watch all the time. So Utley was a great player and a lot of fun, but yeah, I think those old memories are just a little too tough for me to overcome.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So let's recap the full list of players that are on the 2024 Hall of Fame ballot, and bear with me because there are a lot of them. I'm going to get through it as quickly as I can. It's Bobby Abreu, Jose Bautista, Carlos Beltran, Adrian Beltre, Mark Burley, Bartolo Colon, Adrian Gonzalez, Todd Helton, Matt Holliday, Torrey Hunter, Andrew Jones, Victor Martinez, Joe Mauer, Andy Petit, Brandon Phillips, Manny Ramirez, Jose Reyes, Alex Rodriguez, Francisco Rodriguez, Jimmy Rollins, Gary Sheffield, James Shields, Chase Utley, Omar Vizquel, Billy Wagner, and David Wright. And a reminder, the former Dodgers in that group are Bobby Abreu, Adrian Beltre, Adrian Gonzalez, Andrew Jones, Gary Sheffield, Manny Ramirez, Jimmy Rollins, and Chase Utley. So let us know in the comment section who you think gets voted in. And also, please remember to subscribe and ring the notification bell so that you don't miss videos like this, the latest with free agency and trade rumors. So that does it. We will see you guys next time.